How you doing, gods and earths? Peace to everybody inside the world. I hope everyone's looking good, feeling good. I missed y'all guys. I hope you missed me too. We're going to pick up on the same messages that we provide every week and every time that you view King's Path of Success, which is positivity, motivation, innovativeness, and the ability to be beneficial to the people that surround you in your everyday life. Now, today we're going to talk about the homeless population inside the communities and that they're still human beings and that you should actually care about somebody other than yourself or the individuals that you feel that you're responsible for. There's people struggling on an everyday basis. We walk into the grocery stores, we see a lot of them standing around the grocery stores, and your natural thought process says, I don't have nothing to give you. They're going to ask me for change today. And you think that it's panhandling, and you feel like after a while that you're being hustled, that this person ain't really in need. They're trying to feed different forms of addiction. But for you to be a good person and do the right thing to be beneficial to someone else, you shouldn't even worry about what is their individual purpose behind them asking or needing anything. It honestly boils down to, are you going to help this person and do your part or not? So when I reach someone that's struggling or having a hard time with money, I don't think about it as what they're going to do with the money. I think of it in the sense of, I have provided you with an opportunity to do something that could be beneficial for yourself, and you have to choose to do it, which it goes along with the message in which I share with you weekly, which is you can be your own hero. You do not have to wait around and look for someone to help you or come save you or get you out of a situation or predicament in life. You have to believe that you have the capability to find the resources, the people, and you have the strength to weather the storm in order for you to cross the low valleys and climb the mountain peaks of the trials and tribulations of life. It all started with belief in self. All of us naturally were born with the capabilities that we need to progress, to go further, to do more, to be better, and to understand and see that we all have a vision individually. So if you have a vision, maybe I don't see it because it's not my vision, it is yours. And you have to understand that's not a default or a problem. You have a purpose and you are gifted with a sight that I do not have because it is not my life. It is not my path. It's not my course for me to run. So back to what I was saying about people who are struggling and need help, such as your homeless population. You don't always have to have a materialistic object to help a person in need. Sometimes it's just the information that you have and can process and contribute amongst the people inside your community and around you. Like you could tell them where they might can find help for clothing, where they might could find help for housing, where they might could find help for food or any other type of need they have, hygiene, transportation. There is various advocates throughout your community that provide these services, but because there is no public promotion or advertisement much towards advocacy inside of a community, the information is very hard for a person who do not have shelter or a stable place to be to figure out where they need to be or how to get to those resources, or even that they are available. A lot of us go through hard times, and after a while you lose hope. You don't believe, you don't see the end game. You get so lost in your own sadness, your own hardships. And sometimes you suffer from depression because mental illness inside communities is a very real thing. And a lot of times they go ignored because you feel like an outsider, because you don't think the way people say that you should think, or you don't comprehend the way people think you should comprehend. But I promise you, if you focus on the attributes about yourself that is very strong, that you will find that you are gifted with abilities that most people is not, and that maybe the supreme power inside this world has removed some of the distractions of other thoughts and other processes that go on in the world so that you can focus on the gifts that he blessed you with. So therefore, I want everybody to take a moment and realize, if you can, look in the mirror and realize you are looking at greatness. You are made perfectly the way that you're supposed to be made, with every tool that you're supposed to have to get to exactly where you need to be. And it all starts with belief in self. Believe that you're good enough. Believe in your greatness. Believe that you have a strength inside of you that's stronger than anybody can ever recognize if they've seen it in their face. Understand that you're blessed because you're here to go through the struggle, and there's many who is laying under dirt right now would not even be able to try or better any situation in their life because that opportunity has ran out. The worst thing you see inside of a cemetery is never the bodies or the tombstones. It's how many people left this world and didn't even have a chance to fight for their dreams. So when I look in a funeral, I think of, or I go to a cemetery or a burial of any sort, I always think about how old was the person? Was they doing the best that they can? Was they fighting to get to where they need to go? And you think of the things that died with them, like their ambition, their dreams, their goals, their wants, their desires, and everything that they never got to experience at the time of them being alive, because fear could overcome you in many different ways. The worst thing you could do is ask for advice from a person who already gave up on their dreams, already dismissed the thought that it's possible. You do not want advice from them because misery do love company. You have to actually believe in yourself. Understand, because you failed do not mean that I will fail. Understand, because you got tripped at this point of your journey does not mean I am going to trip. Be aware of your own flaws, your own ambitions, your own abilities. Understand that you fighting for more than just you as a person here today, but you fighting for a legacy to live on even when you leave this world. When you touch a person, when you share a space, conversation, time of any sort, make it valuable, because time is the one thing none of us will get back. I can buy a shirt today, that shirt get dirty tomorrow, I'll buy a new one the next day. But the time that I spent teaching you how to better yourself, I can never recover, and I can never get that back. You have to understand that everything at every moment has value, and how are you going to condition yourself to contribute it amongst your peers and community? It's all up to you. We're going to take a small break. We'll be returning in a second, but think about the things that I said, and you'll be back with the Kings from King's Path of Success. See you in a minute. Hey, gods and earths, I'm happy that you're back here with me. I hope you have a moment to go get you something to drink, get a snack, and that you're enjoying the show. Now, I'm going to enlighten you about a couple places that can help you. For those who do not know, I am the director of the Pride program, which is an international entrepreneurial training course that prepares reentry friends, and family into business, teaching them entrepreneurial skill and how to launch a business on their own. Also, I am the program coordinator for the University of Bridgeport ENET program, the Entrepreneurial Network, and it is a very in-depth course that provides education to reentry in the Bridgeport area, teaching them how to go into business, run the business, legalize in the business. And if there's anyone who needs to be in touch with me or contact me, you can reach me through the TV network, or you can reach me at 203-802-0683. Once again, my number is 203-802-0683. Also, you got places like the Connecticut Job Center, your labor department. Those different places, they actually release grants for you to go to trade school up to $4,000 that you do not have to pay back. You just have to reach out and contact the place. There's a place called Workplace. They help you with clothing, transportation, resume skills, cover letter skills, interview skills, clerical skills. They help perfect your professionalism and get you on the path of success to help you get to where you need to be. And none of these things cost any money. It just takes time and effort. You also have places like the OIC building inside of Waterbury, 7779 Bishop Street, that provides various trainings, community groups, free meals for hang time every first and third Thursday. There's a group called Hang Time ran out of the building that provides free meals for families and a chance for you to meet the advocates that you normally wouldn't see on an everyday basis. And you can learn about the training and different trainings inside the facility itself. That's all free to the community, just to help you better yourself. I think a lot of times we only look for information just as much as we need to help ourselves for our own selfish needs, that you do not realize half of the organizations that you do receive help from have extensive programs that can help you even more than what you stepped into that office today for. So I encourage a lot of people to be more humble, ask for help. When I was younger coming up, the saying was, closed mouths don't get fed. Because if you don't say you hungry or you want to eat, you ain't going to eat. If you can't open your mouth and chew food, you're not going to eat. So therefore, if you need help and you're lost and you don't know what to do and you seem to quit and you feel like you're going to give up, always remember it's okay to reach out to somebody that may have a little bit more information than you. That it's okay to need help. We all need help. We all have to ask somebody something for something at some point inside of our life. And even if it's information, you're not going to bother a person much. So therefore, if you're looking to better somebody, what I have learned is nobody mind helping somebody who's trying to help themselves. You need to fight for yourself, because that's what makes a person feel more confident, fighting for you, because you believe it so much and you believe in yourself so much that you are pushing forward with every force in the world pushing against you, and you will not quit. You will not give up. That's what makes people come around you and want to fight with you and for you, by showing the strength, the motivation, the inspiration that you have inside of your body to be successful with everything against you. You have to believe that this world is not going to just hand you everything, that sometimes you have to go get it. I always tell my friends, my family, like, a dream is free, but the hustle is sold separate. Because I could sit here and tell you I could be anything I want to be inside this world. I could tell you I'm going to be a surgeon. But to be a surgeon, you got to put work in. You need to get that education. You need to get that clinic hours. You need to do an internship. It's a process. But you can be anything you want. You just got to be willing to put in the work it takes to get to where you need to be. And you got to believe that this work, this sacrifice that you'll have on the in-between times are made because your goals are so close to you that these sacrifices is minimum for the bigger picture of what you're going to gain out of this work, these sacrifices, this process. Because we're all in a process. We are all being worked on. We are all being molded for our future selves. And it's about what path do you want to be on for your future self. You can't expect change and you don't change. It takes change to make change. If you change your mind, you change your life. You have to believe and fight for more than what you normally fight for. And that's for your children, your nieces, your nephews, your cousins, your grandma, your mama, your daddy, your aunts, your uncles, that you have the ability. Maybe your whole family is struggling. Maybe all your relatives is in a struggle. But someone inside that family have to step up and put in the work to say, I'm going to change the direction of our generational curses. I am going to better our family for the future and provide opportunities and ways of living that I didn't have the opportunity to have as I was young and coming up. You could be more than just your hero. You can be the hero of your entire family, and it only takes a choice. You could get into a position to provide jobs for your friends, for your family, by learning how to operate and running your own company. I think a lot of us oversee things and don't realize how strong, how much you can actually do with the power of just thought and manifestation of your wants and needs inside this world. You have to think about it. Not everybody was going to be a Jay-Z. We don't know where his kids intellectually going to wind up. Just honest truth. But he has positioned himself to make sure that they're not going to wind up in the streets, that if they don't do something in the world, they financially can. It's their choice as individuals what they choose to do. But he chose a path to make sure they're not worried about roofs over their heads, food in their stomach, clothes on their back. Sorry about that. I had to yawn. It was a long night. But also, he provides them information and opportunities through the people he know, through the resources he used, and through the platform in which he grew his career by just bettering himself, coming from a different type of neighborhood that his children would never have to grow up in because he put in the work to get them out of there. So I want you to think about that and linger on it. It's not that his kids don't come from a struggle. They come from the struggle itself. It's just they come from a man and a woman that have overcome those obstacles. So when they look at their parents, they see strong, successful people. But we're going to take one more small break. I'll be back with you shortly. This is King from King's Path to Success. Stay blessed. Peace, gods and earths. I see you back with me. I hope y'all all still remained in your seat to hear today's wrapping up messages, which is, think clearly who you want to be around. Think clearly who you want to share your space with. Think clearly of the environments that you hang out in. Think clearly, sit down. I used to have what was called the dream board, which is I wrote a whole bunch of ideas down pretty much on a piece of paper. And I knew like a little of everything. I didn't have really no direction. I didn't crack down on what I'm really going to do. But I used to write just various goals and things that I would like to accomplish throughout my life. And then I started thinking what steps do you take to get to this goal and that goal and that goal? But I noticed when it comes to things like that, to see it makes it real. for me personally. So I will write these things down on this piece of paper because when I read it, it's real. When I was thinking about it, it was just a thought. But when I write it down and I start making a plan and I start executing certain steps, that dream becomes very, very real, very, very fast. So I want you to understand, we all is the same. We all is one. We're just human beings trying to make it in this world and be strong and successful. And we want our children to have more than what we had. We want our families not to face the struggles in which we have to fight. We want greatness when we see mediocre. We want awesome when we should see shame. And we have to believe that's what you're fighting for because you can do it. You could bring light to very dark places all the time, at any time. You just got to know that it's your power. It lays in the power of decision. You could decide what you want to do with your life. You could decide the type of fight that we may have to overcome. You could decide to pick your battles. You could decide to literally just be more. Be more. Big saying. Be more. Wake up every day. Look in the mirror. Say to yourself, I'm going to be more. I'm going to be more. I'm going to be more. More than yesterday. More than last week. More than last month. More than last year. More than I have ever been inside this world. And no one's going to stop me. If you ask me how strong I am, I'm going to tell you I am too strong. You ask me how much is your capability, I'm going to tell you endless. You ask me why do I believe I'm greatness, is because I'm perfectly Martin King Sparkman, and there's nobody else in this world that's going to be him. You ask me if I'm confident, I tell you yes, because I've overcome obstacles that some people have committed suicide from and gave up and suffered from depression. And I have conquered them and I overcame them, and I was more. I was more when people thought I was less. I was more when people said doubtful, negative things. I was always more when people never even knew who I was. I was more when I thought I was less. I was more when I wanted to quit. I was more when I didn't know what to do. You always got to know, inside of you lives more. And when you understand that, you don't mind losing anything because you'll always have more to give. Now we're going to wrap up today's show. And you have been live with Kings from King's Path to Success. I hope everyone stayed looking good, feeling good. And if no one told you today, I would like to tell you, I love you and I believe in you. I'll see you next week. Peace, gods and earths.
Help me, y'all.